The Federal Republic of Nigeria delivered on setting up a new venue in less than 12 hours. I think they deserve a round of applause. Ceremony. I would ask you to please rise for the national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hang on to our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Nigeria.
National Energy Summit, NIES, has emerged as the premier platform for stakeholder engagement. It is the official government industry trade show for the industry and remains the only such event with the approval of the Federal Executive Council.
What makes NIES different is obviously it's a federal government project. It then allows us as brevity and the way that is robust and makes for very intellectual discussions. And because it's a government project, it ensures that we have the government operators as well as the private sector operators in the same room debating these policies.
We have to come up with some ingenious ideas to be able to raise the funding that is needed to fund the oil and gas sector, particularly in Africa. NOCs, you are not just stakeholders, you are the architects of a new global order as far as the oil and gas industry is concerned.
If we develop the sector well, the way it should be, and we'll be able to meet the local demands as well as export for revenue generation to the country.
Setting the stage for global interaction. NIES has set the pace as an important ideas incubator. The inaugural edition in 28 exit from joint venture cash calls, freeing the government from cumbersome funding burdens and creating a path to incentivize private sector participation. The summit came up with creative ways of dealing with host communities' restiveness, leading to the GMOU framework, which has since become a vital tool for fostering harmony and sustainable development in these areas. The summit championed the domestic utilization of natural gas, setting the stage for the historic declaration of 2020 as Nigeria's Year of Gas.
This pre-summit conference is coming at the most crucial time as the world transits to cleaner energy, and Nigeria is surely set to play a strategic role in the new world energy order.
The world needs more energy, and Nigeria as a reliable and dependable supply of hydrocarbons to global markets has a key role to play in this regard.
We must deal with the energy poverty in this country. We must find a way to unlock the natural gas potential of this great nation.
This focus was later expanded into the ambitious Decade of Gas initiative, driving economic diversification and industrialization.
It is my privilege and honor to now launch the Decade of Gas agenda.
NIES has also empowered indigenous companies. Frameworks developed at the summit helped local firms seize opportunities from international oil companies' asset divestments. Today, indigenous companies account for 30% of Nigeria's oil production, a remarkable leap from just 2% in 2010. Landmark projects like the $2.8 billion Ajaokuta Kaduna Kano gas pipeline came to life through NIES. Once a blueprint on paper, this transformative initiative is now set to generate 3.6 gigawatts of power and fuel industrial growth along its route. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC Limited, and its joint venture partners, Shell Petroleum Development Company, SPDC, ENI, Nigeria Egypt Oil Company, Total Energies, and Gas Aggregation Company of Nigeria, GACN, signed a historic deal with the Dangote Group for a gas supply aggregation agreement, GSAA, at the summit.
This additional gas will help us to bring in more foreign exchange into the country, especially now with the crisis of energy. We'll meet up with the domestic market, and then we'll be able to export $1.8 billion in terms of foreign exchange coming into the country. And I thank you also for witnessing this signature of this gas contract. Thank you.
Time and again, NIES has been the platform for unveiling game-changing deals. From the $5 billion NLNG Train 7 project to the Walter Smith Modular Refinery and the National Gas Transportation Network code launch, the summit has been instrumental in shaping Nigeria's energy landscape. The summit's advocacy for the Petroleum Industry Bill culminated in its passage into law as the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA. But NIES didn't stop there. It hosted a robust debate on the final version of the Act, ensuring it reflected the aspirations of stakeholders and the nation. NIES has also strengthened global partnerships. Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea used the NIES platform to sign a memorandum of understanding for the supply of gas from Nigerian offshore fields to Equatorial Guinea gas processing facility in Punta Europa. In 2022, the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, utilized the NIES platform to engage stakeholders for the marginal bid round. The result was securing over 200 billion naira and $7 million for the federal government while empowering 161 firms with petroleum prospecting licenses. This commitment to refining and advancing critical policies underscores NIES as a platform not just for dialogue, but for decisive action and transformative change. NIES has proved to be a veritable platform for advancing transformative energy sector reforms which prioritizes sustainable growth, enhancing infrastructure, and boosting renewable energy adoption. These initiatives aim to ensure energy security, attract investment, and deliver reliable, affordable power to Nigerians. NIES is where innovation meets action, where decisions are made, partnerships are forged, and the future of Nigeria's energy is shaped. Be part of the transformation. NIES stands fully behind President Tinubu's renewed agenda as his transformative energy reforms steadily yield positive outcomes, driving industry growth and improving the lives of the Nigerian people.
So at the end of every edition, we draw these policies and we take them to the government and help with the implementation of these policies in a way that are beneficial to the government and the private sector and to the industry at large. And that's one of the reasons why this event has grown and it's become very popular, and it is the place to be, not just a network, which is a key thing as well, but beyond that, we help to shape the policy for the industry. That's what makes this event different.
Nigeria International Energy Summit, NIES, shaping the future of energy, creating global partnerships.
I would think that NIES deserves a round of applause. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Just a few housekeeping information before we proceed to the protocol for this morning. It is that we are in the Congress Hall of the Transcorp Hilton. The hotel has not planned any drill. Should there be an emergency, we're expected to please, in an orderly way, proceed through the clearly marked emergency exits and move on to the muster point. For this Congress Hall, the first and primary one would be outside of the Congress Hall, a bit to your left. You'd find the muster point beside the car park area there. Before I proceed, please, if you're standing, I think there are still seats in the gallery. You can just find the staircase somewhere outside of this room to your left. Find the staircase and go up. There's still empty seats I can see from here on the gallery up there. Okay, so the restrooms, conveniences, if you like, exit through the primary entrance or this one, and then you'll find them by the staircase of the mezzanine. That we have on-site clinic. Should you have a need, a medical emergency or need, please talk to any of the brevity action and networking. The presentations for this conference will be available 72 hours after the closing ceremony that will happen on Thursday. Let me also ask you to please turn your phones to silence and vibrations. But of course, as I say always, if you use the kind of phone that stays on when it's switched off, remove the batteries and put them back after the ceremony. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, moving on now to the protocol for this morning. Let me begin by acknowledging the presence here of His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources of the country, represented by the Honorable Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Aniete. Good morning, ma'am. Also here this morning, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of one who shared with us passionately and intelligently yesterday, the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Olajumoke Oduwole, MFR. Very good morning to you. Of course, the distinguished Senator Heineken Lokobri is the Honorable Minister of State Petroleum Resources for Oil. He's also here this morning. Very good morning to you, sir. Right Honorable Obagamen Ekperikpe Ekpo is the Honorable Minister of State Petroleum Resources for Gas. He's here with us this morning. A very good morning to you. Very own His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman, the Minister of Energy of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, represented by Anas Obashi. A very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Of course, not forgetting a two-time Minister of the Republic of Equatorial Guinea and currently the Chairman for CABS, His Excellency Mr. Gabriel Obianglima. Very good morning to you. Your Excellency, the Permanent Secretary, Ambassador Nicholas Agboela, we acknowledge you. Your Excellencies, Ambassadors of Nations, let's acknowledge one who is helping stabilize prices and drive growth for our industry. His Excellency Haitham Al-Gais, the Secretary General of OPEC. Very good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. We're also graced with the presence of His Excellency Engineer Mohammed Hamil, our very own pride of the nation and Secretary General of the African Petroleum Producers Organization, His Excellency Dr. Omar Farouk Ibrahim.